Big baller brand. LiAngelo Ball has signed a $8 million contract with Def Jam Records. The streets are saying that the contract can go up to $13 million after LiAngelo's track Tweaker went viral on Al Gore's internet. Whoa, whoa. It got me to thinking that some of you owe an apology to the original big baller, LaVar Ball. Let me tell you a story about LaVar Ball. This is not a story that's on the internet. It's not a story that's on TV. It's something that probably LaVar would never even publicize. But it's true. Years ago, I was leaving the Staples Center. And yes, I still call it the Staples Center. I don't like the crypto. But this was back when Lonzo played with the Lakers. I was leaving the Staples Center and I happened to run into LaVar Ball in the back as I was leaving. Talked to him for a few minutes, took a picture. There's a bunch of kids out there selling candy. If you ever been to Staples Center after the game, you know it's there are three things that are happening after the game. Street meat, the vendors are selling the bootleg merchandise, and these kids selling candy for the football team, track team, trying to make a little money on the side or whatever. LaVar buys up all the candy first off. And then one of the kids is like, hey, Lonzo's my favorite player. I want to play basketball. And he's just talking to LaVar. LaVar brings somebody over, gets the kids information, give the kids some information. And I asked another guy that was with LaVar that was just kind of asking, hey, what's that all about? And he said, oh, LaVar does that all the time. He always brings kids in from the neighborhood. He brings kids in from when he's out. He lets them come over. He lets them play it. And then in the basketball court, let them meet Lonzo, LaMelo, LiAngelo. And he tries to get them, in the youth basketball league to kind of keep them out of trouble. Said if the parents or the moms or the dads don't have the funds for the youth basketball league, he normally covers it. Him and his wife cover it themselves so the kids can play. It's something that he's real passionate about. Now, I had never heard any of this at the time. I had never heard any of this. That's what LaVar Ball does. The interesting thing about parenting, and anybody with kids will tell you that this is true, each kid is different. Each parent is different. The way people decide they want to parent is different. You're going to make a lot of mistakes during that journey. Ideally, the end game is that your kids end up doing better than you. If you can get them to that point, they're happy, they're healthy, they're successful. You've done right by them as a parent. There are certain stereotypes when it comes to black fathers. I mean, black people in general, but black fathers, they have these stereotypes. First off, that we're not around, that we're deadbeats, that we don't care about our kids. Then there's these other stereotypes that if we're loud or boisterous or say our kids are better than Michael Jordan, that somehow makes us, bad, dad. I think there are things that you can disagree with how LaVar has handled certain things with his sons. There are certain situations you can say, I probably would have handled that differently. But the way that he was portrayed in the media as a bad father is simply because he is boisterous, he's loud, and he'll tell anybody that listens that his boys are better than anybody in the world, which is something that most parents do, to be honest with you, was a little disturbing. And it had some touch of racism to it. This would not happen to a white father. When you have three boys, you've been married for 20 plus years to the same woman. Those three boys are living out their dreams. You've done okay. The measure of a man is not what he did on Monday Night Raw or what he did on First Take or saying something about Whitlock and snacks. The measure of a man is when something terrible happens. How do they stand up? How do they handle the situation? When the Ball brothers' mother had a stroke, unfortunately, who was there holding everything together? It was LaVar, nursing her back to health, encouraging her to get better. That's the measure of a man, not what you said on First Take. That's the real measure of an individual. You have 3 sons, 2 in the NBA, one that had a cup of tea in the NBA, and now signed a $13 million record deal. That's not too bad. As a father, you have to be proud of what your sons have accomplished and what you've helped them accomplish. So for those people that had a problem with LaVar Ball, had a problem with Big Baller Brand, had a problem with the way that he was parenting, just remember, a lot of the things that he did, even if they wasn't quote unquote a success, started a trend of other things. The reason that the G League Ignite existed was because LaVar Ball tried to put together a league for high school students that didn't necessarily want to go to college and wanted to get paid. LaVar Ball is a precursor to the NIL world that we live in right now. All of the athletes that are now trying to come out with their own shoe, their own brand, because they don't want to be locked in with Nike or Adidas or whatever. That's all part of LaVar Ball's original plan. Did it go the way that we hoped it would go? Maybe not. But just having the ideas and the vision of trying to do something different, that's something that should be celebrated, not something that should be mocked. So salute to you, LaVar Ball, and salute to you, LiAngelo. I've helped those streams because I've listened to the song about 34 times. If you're watching this, you probably have too much time on your hands, but I do appreciate you. If you can do me a favor, if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, BSO TV, and our podcast, The Headline King with Robert Littal, and Facts Not Feelings with Robert Littal on all of your podcasting spaces, I would really appreciate that. We're doing daily, weekly videos, insider information, things that you won't be able to get on the website. So please subscribe to these spaces, and therefore you get to see my lovely face on a daily basis. To be the hero but turned into the villain, something like the Penguin, never like Bruce Wayne. I came from the gutter, not addicted to the fame, but the streets know my name, beat them at their own game. 20 years later, claim the head of the table. I'm my brother's keeper, but more Cain than Abel. Eliminate your bloodline, I'm the tribal boss. I murder so many tribes, call it tribe Lord wrong. It's a scary story, son and all these rappers sending them the moral. Never did it for the glory or the hot taste, did it for Grandma Ruby, who said I was special right out the gate. So continue to hate where you failed to see. You took your best shot and you bricked your 3. The BSO legacy like the Bulls dynasty. My G, it looks like you need some milk. Let me call RG3. These are facts, not feelings. 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 It's the Headline King, Robert Littal.